Hello to a well-timed banana drop to Jarviskjir, Rock of the North, Chapter 3, Session 9-ish. I feel like I've dropped the session number somewhere. I don't know. We'll be fine.
Cinder stole it.
Yeah.
I think this is 9 because I missed last week, which was 8, and the
Yeah.
last one I have is 7. So
I think it got extra confusing because I definitely had the wrong numbers on some of the VODs, and
I've done that.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I should remove the human error potential from the VODs, and it's very easy to do that, but the quality would be slightly lower, so I haven't done it. We have another small group today, which is actually perfect for what we've got going on, especially because at the end of the last session, Quill was considering unleashing her infection into heaven. And now that horrible idea could be averted, which is great for the, the rest of existence. That potential world-ending threat has been restricted.
wait, what was the context of that?
That's pretty much it,
Don't
honestly.
That's pretty much it.
That's pretty
No,
much
we don't
it.
need to give you
Experiment.
any ideas. No, poetry doesn't need any ideas. Let's not do that.
No.
Yeah, maybe we'll get in on this idea.
No,
Just-
no. Cinder's already gonna yell at you about bad ideas. Don't add another one to the list.
Oh, you didn't yell at Jed, sir.
Cinder calmly was like, maybe we shouldn't do that.
So, let's recap what happened last session. To attempt to save Snow from the clutches of death, because he's dead.
He's dead, Jim.
The rest of the party has traveled into the heaven of the Sun Elves, VODs, using a gateway in the Moon Queen's palace in Velheim. You went through and had to get used to the fundamental nature of heaven. These places are called dream realms for a reason. Nothing is entirely material. You realize quite quickly that when you look away from things, sometimes they change, but everything is slightly hazy. The Celestial City was where you'd entered into, which is where the Sun Elves and the Moon Elves lived, and you had the impression of something was off. Not only were all of the souls here very ancient, and they seemed perfectly fine and happy and enjoying their slightly racist festivals. You had some kind of uncanny feeling which came to a head when the statue-like guardians of the place eventually realized your presence was not natural to heaven, and did make some effort to oust you, although very slowly. There is also potentially more threat to that, with you hearing about the Archon of Right and Wrong, who supposedly seeks out and destroys anything that would threaten the Celestial City where the Moon Elves and the Sun Elf souls live. You eventually decided that, yeah, Snow isn't here, so you crossed the lake that bordered the city and explored the wild lands outside. Eventually, while taking a completely wrong turn that would have taken you to a completely different place, decided to go the right way and finding your way to the Northman Heaven in VODs. This mostly forested region on the coast with a town nearby. You then found Fendlin, who is Sabriel's late wife, also very dead, who you were looking for in the Celestial City. And you tried some things. She wasn't in the Celestial City, she was outside of it. She had known Snow, and while being very, very depressed, has agreed to guide you to Snow's location. And that's where we left off last time. Pretty much. With you here in the Northman Heaven, approaching the coastline. Okay. Time for a long establishing shot to set the scene. The Northman Heaven, I described it before as like a town, and you aren't in the town section, but the town is a lot more sparsely laid out than you even Lendir, where you spend a lot of chapter 1. Neither of these characters who are here today did that, but as a party, you did. And it's a lot more sparse wooden manors that you can see across the distance with community getting together by this coastline. The sea that stretches sort of side to side as far as you can see is bluish, but also green in some places, like a very deep green and littered with ice flats as well. The area you're approaching is far away from the town, but there's still these rune stones and carved visages of the Northman gods, and it also appears that the runic patterns maybe naturally appear in some of the stone here, but occasionally fades from view. In the far distance beyond the sea is a seemingly trio of mountains, but they're kind of melting together, as if they're sliding very slowly towards each other, but not ever moving, like those GIFs that occasionally post from a movie, and they go, "Oh, look, it's moving, but it's not." It's that sort of thing going on. The sky is clear. The air is appropriately chilly. There is that kind of comforting smell of sea air, cold sea air coming from the water, and Fendlin takes you onto this grey slate beach. It's not sand. It's all thin plates of grey slate, almost like scales in some places. Sometimes there's like pebbles. It's pebbles and slate chunks, and the rocking of water. This is where, in the distance, Cinder and Adelhard, you will see what looks to be snow. Albeit the giant only has one of his antlers, because one was broken. The equipment is not the same either, but it's similar. The specifics are all different. For Snow, waking up in this place, you didn't know what to think. No one does, apparently. There are some people like you here. Either other giant kin or half-giants who were close to the Northman community. But you do have that sense of not belonging here. Absolutely. Although it's a very comfortable place. You know. There's plenty of adventure to be had and fights to have. But there's a sense of not belonging that has been slightly alleviated by at least the slight companionship of the Sun Elf Fendlin when they visit. You've seen some of the elves visit this area. Very rarely Sun Elves and Moon Elves. She's really the only one. But sometimes elves came from the green realm of Arvor. And you seem to get along perfectly well with them. The rest of the party, you see snow in the distance. On the coastline. Far away from the other towns. No boats in sight, aside from those that appear kind of half sunken. What would you like to do?
If I may, I imagine he's probably he hasn't done this a lot back when he was alive, but he's probably actually like talking to animals because he can do that. So he's probably just chilling, talking to like a squirrel or something.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of squirrels in this heaven. For some reason, there's lots of them. So yeah, you absolutely could be talking to like a red squirrel or something.
Part of me just wants to have Cinder pick up a rock and just yeet it at his fucking head.
Adelhard will just speak up and say, "Let us get."
Yeah, Cinder's picking up a rock as Adelhard starts to speak. She's not throwing it yet.
Fendlin does.
Adelhard is just saying, "Let us get this over with."
Fendlin reaches out an arm, and like the sun metal on the armor kind of makes a noise. And she does say quietly again, remember, don't expect too much. And we'll sit down on a upturned boat. Like a rowboat.
Okay. She's gonna slowly lower the rock and fall out of water. Is he talking to a squirrel or someone on the other side of the screen?
Yeah, I think Poetry's talking to a real person unless a squirrel jumped into their house.
Yeah, no.
The squirrel Eichhörnchen invasion of America has begun.
No. Sorry, what happened? Sorry.
They are walking over behind you, and you can hear them. There's like the crunching of pebbles and stuff. It's just Adelhard and Cinder.
Okay. I mean, sorry about my dog. It's Snow would. I guess, has Snow had any reason to be fearful in this place?
Kinda only if you want to be. To a degree. You've learned that if you leave the woods that borders this heaven, the bets are kind of off. In fact, actually, during the last session, the reason why these people, the party got here is because they followed a band of orcs who are not native to this heaven, who were actually attacking the Northman kind of glade here. Inside, it's usually completely fine. But there's stories. There's stories of people getting sucked under the water and never returning. There is a slight thing of people actually returning after dying in battle in this realm, but there doesn't seem to be necessarily a logic to it.
Okay. I guess then Snow, if he hears like snow crunching or whatever behind him, or sand or whatever, he will kind of like look over. Does he see them?
Yeah. They're walking up. They're plainly visible. You'd also see Fendelin behind, clearly having led them here, but not actually walking with them.
We don't look like us.
They don't look like them. They actually look like a sun elf that kinda looks like Balord's daughter, and a moon elf that just looks like Adelhard. Scar and all, outfits exactly the same.
As Alucard went.
He did not change.
But the printer did not run out of ink.
Yeah, exactly. They have magical items on that allow them to project like a sun elven and moon elven form, but it didn't change Adelhard like at all.
As Snow's eyes see Fen, he'll light up with recognition. He'll kind of like give a wave, and then the two that are approaching, he's like, and who are these? Hello, Fen.
She gives a nod and kind of like crinkles her brow in a she just looks tired. She's usually tired. She is omega depressed, as was discussed last session. She's like, I think it's best to let them explain it.
He nods and he's like, he'll stand up, kind of like shake off the sand or whatever, and be like, he'll go over or kind of start approaching the two of them and say, well, nice to meet you. If you're a friend of Fen, then you're a friend of mine.
Cinder wants to punch him in the face.
Do it.
Don't you Palpatine in the background there?
Did it?
That was absolutely. You're wearing the hood and everything.
Cinder's gonna walk up. She's kind of got her hands on her hips. She's used to being 4'5", but right now she's like
5'4".
5 foot something. So she's like, this is fucking weird, man. So she's awkwardly. She's acting like she's small when she's not. She walks up. She has her hands on her hips. She looks at him and narrows her eyes. And Cinder, Snow,
Cinder?
Mm-hmm.
There's no like glint of recognition in his eyes. He kind of looks a little quizzical, and he's like, "Who is Cinder?"
Cinder just turns and looks at Adelhart. All right, let's just shove him in the bag and take him back, and we'll deal with this later. Because I don't.
I apologize. I don't believe we've met.
Cinder just sighs. She's like, I'm still wanting to shove him in the bag. There's no point having this conversation right now.
Cinder, the book.
The book.
touch.
Oh, the book. Right, the book. Okay, because the robes helped Fendelin. So the book. Okay. She pulls out the book, and she doesn't hand it to Snow. She just kind of pushes it into his chest.
Adelhart, for context, he's just standing like a little bit behind all in his usual strict, emotionless manner.
Yeah, you look like a moon elf. It's fine. It's
Cinder's acting like a sun elf. It's fine.
It's Wyrex's book.
Does
Wyrex's
this have
spell
any
book.
meaning to...
I think it probably would. I think that burns deep into Snow
Okay,
to some
yeah.
degree.
Yeah. Okay. He looks at it and he's like, I don't know why this matters to me, but something about this it makes me angry almost.
Yeah, well, it should. And it makes me angry because you died because you don't fucking listen and you let your one for revenge take over. That's what happened. That's why you're here. That's why you're stupid. Now take the book and look through it.
He's like kind of bewildered. Snow's like,
She's so mad.
Snow's like, I don't remember how I died. I just remember waking up here.
Well, you died because you didn't listen again when I said to run away because I had it.
He's like, well, the Northmen around here say that you should never run away from battle if you think you can win.
She just like puts her hands on her head.
Maybe that's what I was doing. And he looks up at Sinner, yeah, and he's still no recognition. He's like, I'm sorry that I don't remember.
I don't care if you remember who I am. Why are we here? She looks at Adelcard.
To bring him back.
There's no point in having this discussion. He doesn't remember anything. We should just bring him back. We're gonna bring her too. Just don't tell anyone. She points at
Back where?
Your
where you
body.
came from.
It is preserved.
Wait, pause. Didn't we get told that he couldn't get put back in his body because there's no magic to fix the body?
No magic to fix the body. You don't know what happens when you bring Snow through.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Alright.
But Snow's body in the mortal world right now is fucked up.
Yeah, that's the thing. So, and we can't fix it. So, what we're gonna do is stick him in fucking Goldie? Like... Okay, Snow. Here's the thing. We're here to bring you back. Even if you don't remember why or who we are or anything like that, we're here to bring you back because you fucked up, first of all. But anyway, we care. She doesn't want to say the word. She doesn't like to say we... She's like trying to figure out how to fey this up because she can't figure out how to mortal words. She's like, I don't know how these words work. These words aren't working. you are part of the group, and Uncle Ballard, or yeah, we'll just keep doing that because I'm confused right now on our status. But Uncle Ballard wants you back.
So know who Ballard is? Would Fen have told him about Ballard?
Fen knows she's waiting for someone. She doesn't know who it is until she'll see it. That seems to be how it works. And it causes her a great deal of strife. Because she just knows she's waiting. So no, she doesn't really know. But she's actually got one of Ballard's robes with her right now. That Cinder gave her. So like, yeah. She does seem to remember now more, but not so much when you were talking.
Okay. I don't know who this Uncle Ballard is. Is he
He's your friend.
Is he a sun elf like you? Because as far as he's concerned, you look like a sun elf.
Oh, I'm not a sun elf. I'm a rabbit. She sounds like she's fucking nuts right now, but anyway.
He's like, I speak to all the rabbits around here. They're all quite nice, and one of them said that they remembered seeing a hawk flying down at them, and then they woke up here. But
my dad got eaten by a dog. Anyway, so
you are a strange little sun elf man.
Okay.
Or wait, actually, is it a woman or a man in this form?
woman. She's
Yeah,
like a
woman.
female,
You're a strange
like Ballard child.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's right. You said Ballard's daughter almost.
It's basically the illusions are them,
Yeah.
but in the other body. So it's
Okay.
still,
Yeah.
if you could recognize Cinder, you'd recognize Cinder kind of,
Okay, I
but
got
you can't.
Yeah. You could say like you're a strange little woman. Son
Yeah, I know. But I'm not mortal, so it's whatever. Whatever. So, here's a question, Snow. Do you want to come back and go do things and keep helping your friends and keep helping, you were doing stuff with Sabriel and the dragon and the little lizard guy and little lizard guy's Peep. She's talking about the dragon, what's her name? I can't ever remember her goddamn name, Ollie.
How rude of you.
I love her to death, but I can't remember her name ever.
I'm not fetching
Cinder
you, I'm
doesn't
giving
know
you a branch on this
Cinder
one.
Cinder doesn't know it anyway. She just knows there was a dragon lady that they did stuff with.
Mm-hmm.
And a dragon, and then you gotta go help deal with the war that the whole reason I joined you people for to help with. And then we gotta go find Adelhard's mom, which is why we're here in the first goddamn place, because we were gonna do that, and then you had to go get revenge.
I think Snow's like just a little overloaded from all this.
Yeah.
He's like
I know.
He's like, oh god, like he's just like, whoa, I don't remember what I was doing when I was alive. He's curious actually though. He just like, did I leave unfinished business then?
Yes.
Yeah.
He kind of looks past them to Fen because he's like not.
Fen has
Sure,
shifted from the like, I don't care, to the like, both hands forward, leaning in look. And you can see, but you've seen before slightly poetry, but the others, if they look back, around her neck, there's these big gaps where there's nothing. The wound just kind of opens up into almost a different plane. Almost like being stabbed with a knife. Kind of base of the neck, chest, you can kind of see it because she's leaning down and the way the chest armor's moved. But she is now paying attention to the conversation. She wasn't before. But she's still like over there.
Or Chef Cinder just whip her out, and you!
You can! I mean, it's not, you're not getting anywhere with Snow
You
right
know
now.
what? Yeah, she's gonna pose and say, do you want to go back?
You said there's a war.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what the repercussions are going to be, but you seem like you're really sad here, and I don't want something to happen to you here because it's a really not great place, it looks like, and I feel like bad things are going to happen here, and I don't know that that would be good because if you're waiting on someone and bad things happen here, then you're not going to find them.
This place is indeed strange.
Something's wrong with it. I don't like it. I want to go away quickly.
There is in the
Arnold just
distance.
gives an agreeing nod.
In the distance, there's like a whale spray in the sea. There's some whales go by.
Like, I can stick you in my bag. You won't die because you can't breathe, so, like, you can live there until we figure out what to do.
It's the duty of my kind to fight these battles. Any Sun Elf would push past the confines of death to fight in a war that needs fighting. But I'm not getting in your strange little bag.
Well, okay, well, what about, Cinder's
I'm
like,
not getting in the back.
Cinder's like searching around her pockets, and then Ollie, would that spell that Cinder's got be useful for that now? The one that we gave her today?
It would be useful to not get seen while you're getting out.
But okay.
You only know one way out, and it's the doorway you came in through, although it was
Hold
shut
on.
when you went through.
Hold on. We're gonna MacGyver this. Actually, I got a question. Cinder's gonna hold her sword out to one of the two ghosts. Snow first, because she's mad at him right now. She's gonna have Snow to have him touch it. What happens if he touches her sword? Well, she's gonna hold it out to you. Like, can you touch this?
He'll kind of gently like poke it. He's a little.
The sword growls.
He growls.
Yeah.
Is that normal
Here's-
here?
No. Her sword is
Still
made
like,
of her sword is made of dragon horn. Possessed.
Wait, isn't that the dragon we killed with Snow?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that bring back some memory?
Was that an important memory?
Well, Cinder did almost die because Snow decided to turn back around and fight when she told him to fucking run, which was
To
her whole
Snow-
rant there.
To Snow, that was just another enemy.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have really placed much importance on the fight itself. Or the enemy
An
itself.
airliner going over my apartment. I'm sorry.
That's the whale.
Yeah. Yes, but Snow would kind of be like, hold on, if Fen says that there are things that need to be fought, since I've arrived here, just something hasn't sat right with me. The Northmen are friendly enough, and there are others like me, giant kin. But the ones I've felt closest to have been the elves. The elves have been the ones I have felt closest to. And if there's an elven war going on, I will support Fen. She's my friend.
Cinder just nods. She doesn't really know what else to say to that, but she's testing a theory with her sword. Would she know if we could, or can she try and, with help, try and figure out if we can store them in the swords?
The swords are material objects that you use to
I know.
slice at enemies. This one is possessed by a ghost that was forged into it by a
Okay.
master craftsman. It does not have an all-purpose soul-storing spot. That would be a
Well, no,
pretty
she-
cool weapon, to be
Oh,
fair.
No, she was trying to see if maybe
A
we could
Pokeball of sorts.
attach them to it. Is what she was going for.
Not with your spells and
Not
abilities.
with no. Okay.
Interesting idea. Yeah, you don't currently have a way to Pokeball these two.
That's fine. She'll just. Well, I do, but it'll have to be quick. Okay. Yeah, that's the only way she's gonna have to be able to do it, I think. She just looks at Adelhard. Alright. I have a way to hide them, but I can't do it for very long.
Snow would be like, hold on, maybe I don't look like much, but I'm not gonna hide from any foe, even if it's here in this.
You must.
No, you have to. We don't have a choice.
There is no choice. Subtlety is required this time.
Spoken like a true moon elf.
But I mean, even Cinder's like, if you don't fucking listen to me on this, I will just fucking vaporize your fucking soul.
Snow would be like, one thing I've learned from Fen here is that a true Sun Elf Crusader never backs down from a fight.
Okay, well, Snow, you're not a Sun Elf Crusader.
Yes, you're a giant.
You're a giant, and you're a moron. And while we enjoy your company and your presence,
he's like,
I
have no recollection of ever. I've met a few of the other giants in the town, but I don't really feel like a giant.
No, well, you're not. You're kind of like in two different places, but you're not a Sun Elf. So, but anyway, you're not a Sun Elf. You're not a Sun Elf Crusader. There have been a few times in fight where I have asked you to listen to my advice, to not run forward and try and fight your way out. I'm trying to help you here. Listen to me, please.
The Sun Elves do it with tact. They don't run in all willy-nilly.
You have never done it with tact. He's like,
Adelhard just clearly agrees with what Cinder.
There is no tact there, otherwise you would have listened to me.
So I was like, I don't.
She may have tact. She's hot. But
you have unfinished business. That is a fact.
Not that you're not
the
hot,
only
but that's not the
way
point.
we are getting you out is with subtlety.
Which is my specialty, believe it or not. Nom that chicken nugget.
You can't do that. That's a crime.
Sorry, I'm thinking. I think Snow is like, he's kind of looking to Fen for guidance. He's very unsure.
Yeah, I was trying to think what Fen is not saying anything really, but she does look determined.
Cinder has one more thing to say that might help sway both of their decisions, mainly Fen. Uncle Ballard sent me in here because he knows I know what to do and he knows how to do my job. This is my job to find lost things and get them back where they need to be.
Fen's hands tighten slightly on the blue robe that was handed to her, and she gives a more solid nod. Then the question remains, how are you getting yourselves and us out of here?
Go back to the portal. She just looks at Adelhard.
Go back to the portal.
Don't need her to man the boat, or one of them to man the boat, because I'm afraid to talk to the boat. The boat scares me.
Talk to a boat?
Yes, apparently these boats speak.
And the last time I talked to one of the statues, when I talked to one of the statues, it realized that I was in fact not a rather nice, tall, lanky, hot sun elf, but rather a small, frail person who is not supposed to be here. So it was probably best that the two of us don't interact with the statue things.
Well, yeah. The city doesn't want you in there. It's trying to force you out.
The city can shove it up its construct ass. I don't care. Cinder's spicy today.
Cinder is having a mood.
Cinder's done with everyone's shit, is what it is.
Cinder decided she's Balord's child now and has ramped up the sass appropriately.
Cinder has ramped up the sass because of that, and because Goma got hurt because of this too. That's also adding to it.
Yeah.
So,
well, you know, Goma got more hurt because of you.
But
yeah.
no. So the whole situation, it's all part of the same situation. She's not blaming him for her getting hurt. She's just blaming him for the other parts. But the whole situation has Cinder pissed off.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I can go take us back through the little slip space I think that I found to get here, to get back to the boats on the shore, and then we can go back to the city. Unless I can find another slip space that'll take us right back to the city, to where we need to go, and then we have to find the portal through all that moving mechanical bullshit.
Why don't you just find a slip space that takes us to your home?
We were told there's only one way in and out. Unless I can try and plane shift again, but the last time that she just looks like, I don't know that it'll work.
Yes, I'm not certain if it will work.
I mean, I can try it right now, but I'm afraid if I go, then these two are stuck here if my spell doesn't work right, or you're stuck here out of heart, and I don't want to leave you here. You got things to do. We've got your mom's stuff to find. I still have the information.
You found it.
My stuff was successful until I went to leave and ended up in a weird hag's house in the middle of the spirit world.
Let's get out of here. We can discuss all of this later.
So am I trying to plane shift us, or are we going back to the city, or are we just trying to find a slip space? Like, what's happening? I don't
think
know.
we should return to the city.
Okay.
It is the safest.
And
It was still
you
dangerous.
she points at Fen and Snow. My spell does not last for very long, so when I say to get in the box, you get in the box, okay?
The box isn't related to the bag, is it?
No, the
Yeah,
box is a
that's-
metaphorical box. The box does not exist. Just don't fight me when I try to put you somewhere.
What is a metaphor?
Oh, well, yeah, that's really Snow. No, that's not even this place. Out of heart, that is just Snow. We got the right one. We found the right ghost.
But,
Yes, we most certainly
Starts
did.
walking off.
but Snow is like, wait, can I bring my friend?
What friend?
He points down and there's a squirrel, his favorite squirrel that he always talks to.
Hold on, how many people can I fit in this fucking thing?
I think you can only fit one, which might be an issue to your plan. But
Yeah,
one
so
of them
is
at
it-
least belongs there. Oh, I'm
She belongs there in the city.
Yeah,
He does not.
yeah. You were
So
already
if I put-
told by the people there that if a giant were to get into the city, the Archon of Right and Wrong would destroy it.
Yeah, then
But
let's
here's
put the
the
giant
problem.
in the box.
Here's
Because
the
she belongs in
problem. It's gonna take us longer than a minute to get through the city.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Cinder
Yeah.
can only do this for a minute. Can Cinder see if can Cinder see if there's a slip space that will get us closer to where we need to be in the city? Like, can she find a slip space nearby and at least poke her head in and see where it is? Like, with the
I'd
Horizon
let
Walker
you
shit?
give a raw wisdom check, you know, to see, to reach out your senses, because this is Cinder's thing, even though it's
Oh.
usually only in the trio of material planes, but...
While
Do
Cinder
I-
is doing this, Snow wants to look at Adelhard and be like, so the squirrel can come then?
No.
Oh. I'm sorry, Jimmy, but you might have to stay behind.
Oh my god, you named it Jimmy!
He's dead, Jim!
No!
The second you
Why?
give it a name.
Poetry!
I didn't give him the name. He told me the name when I spoke to him.
Ollie,
Hello.
do I have advantage on this for since it's detect portal?
Do you... yeah. You're still going to be looking for a high result.
Oh, I know, but she's got detect portal for that.
Yeah.
Because we brought it up last session because I forgot I had it.
Yeah. Yeah, because we basically were just using detect portal in, like, Cinder's weird teleport ability. That's a good
21.
roll!
Holy shit.
So you start to go from the beach to more of the forested areas with the runes carved into the trees and the, the stags and forest deer that aren't scared of people's presence and stuff. And this is exactly the kind of place where you know where to look for gaps in realities, and it turns out that here in the dream worlds, in the heavens, there's loads of them. Because they're not so well knitted together. When you attune yourself to it, you can find way more of these little spots where, in a tree is raised and the roots kind of arch outward, and if you kind of pop your hand through, it goes somewhere else. Like you can find these spots really readily, especially when you're starting to look to them. While you couldn't manifest things with your dreams before, maybe this is slightly closer to that. And yeah, you do find, after a little while, there's sort of a chunk of a building made of stone and wood, and it looks like the building has been burned down. There's a very strong smell of ash around it. But the archway of the window that's still mostly intact goes through into the Celestial City. You can see the metallic walls and the flowers in the window, and you can hear the kind of clicking and thunking and general ambiance of the Celestial City through it. It is... You will literally be climbing through a window into another place.
Does it look like it's close to where we started in the city?
With how infinite the city is and its lack of general landmarks, I mean, you can't see the fountain.
Okay.
So you don't really know.
Cinder's just trying to gauge when she's gonna pop her spell, because...
Yeah. The only way you'd be able to work that out is if you got to another high place in that city and you kind of looked at the landmarks you saw before. Because while the city is infinite, there are elements that are recognizable.
Cinder's gonna look at... she's gonna... Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go through this window. It's in the city, right? I'm gonna cast a spell before we get in there that's going to make us a bit sneakier and harder to notice. Don't break shit. She points at Snow. Try and duck down. And I'm gonna have to find somewhere to climb back up and look again to see if I can find this godforsaken fountain. Literally, because this place is godforsaken. And and once I find the fountain, then I'm gonna cast a spell. I'm gonna put you, Snow, in the box, and you can't get out of the box. Once I put you in the box until I let you out of the box, or the time.
Sound very good.
Well, it's either that or you get smoked by the evil robot overlords. Which one do you want?
Well,
what's a robot?
What?
It is a strange word for construct.
Yeah, that. I don't speak meat people. Like.
But you're a sun elf.
No, I'm not.
So still hasn't understood. Yeah. So it's like, okay,
Wait a minute.
He looks at Fen. He's like, if Fen trusts you, then I will trust you.
Okay.
It
But I
might
also
be
just
the
had
worst
another-
decision I've ever made in my unlife, but I do trust the daughter of Balord Rulius.
She smiles.
That name
I had
sounds familiar.
Let him touch
No matter.
the room.
Yeah, let him touch the robe. But also,
Yeah,
I had another thought.
she's gonna throw this blue robe that was Balord's at Snow's face, basically. She's gonna huck it at him.
He smells it. He's like, it smells familiar, but that's about it. And then I'll give it back.
So Cinder looks at Adelhard. Do you remember that theory that I had before we came, that I might be invisible to these people if I wasn't wearing this thing, since I'm not, immortal?
Yes, but we would have to test that theory. Plus,
Yeah, well, but we're
okay,
not in
so
the city yet.
spells the Moon Queen gave us, it's more than just the disguise itself. Are the other spells that hide us a little more also tied to this amulet thing that hides us?
You don't really know how the little bracelets you got work.
Okay.
I think this would be one of those things where Adelhard would definitely want to experiment with it more. But
Oh, absolutely.
Adelhard's knowledge of the Moon Queen, I think you could assume that it's basically a very good illusion. Because the Moon Queen is a wizard.
Yeah.
She's a wizard who looks into all kinds of things and how things work. And a very good wizard can make illusions interact in more than one sense. And maybe there's another sense at play in this realm. And that might be kind of what she's tied into, like a sixth sense, as well as just physical ness.
Well,
I
I
will
thought,
not risk it, perhaps.
what, putting it on Snow and seeing if it turns him into a sun elf?
Removing it from you. You are still living, after all, even if you're not mortal. You have not died.
No, if I die, I just go back to the boss and there's just it's eternal nothingness. It's great. Not this weird ass place. She's like, I don't like it here. It's
When
gross.
Cinder dies, she becomes the soup. And that's
She becomes the soup.
All the lore I'm going to give on that.
Cinder's like, I don't go to this stupid place. Okay, well that negates. Anyway, Snow, when I say to get in the box, just get in the box, and then we're just gonna run.
Okay. Here's a question.
Is this question in character from Adelhard or a question to me?
No, from me.
Yeah.
From me. So would Adelhard look into the bracelet a bit at the moment?
The
Can
window?
he set aside... No, the bracelet.
The
the
bracelet.
illusion.
Yeah.
Can he set aside like a few hours to have a look at it? Maybe figure out how it may be working?
If the others are okay with it, yeah, you could spend some time to give me an Arcana check. I wouldn't say it needs to be a few hours.
Okay.
Maybe 10 minutes or so.
Okay. Then I give you an Arcana.
Cinder's gonna poke her head through the portal and look for a high place while he's doing that.
Yeah. You do
He
know,
said this place is making him too depressed.
Yeah, you do realize that the bracelets, they aren't, tied to you in any way. You totally could throw one on Snow. Or Fen. What would happen? Who knows? But that would involve taking it off.
Yeah. Nah, he's too depressed to figure out more at the moment.
Like a true moon elf.
Yes.
Yeah, Cinder's just gonna wait here so I can poke my head through and see if there's a high place I can quickly reach so I can go check and then expedite. She's not gonna go all the way through. She's poking her head through the hole to see if there's a tower or something she can climb.
Oh, there's always a tower, and there's always a lighthouse, and always a city. Yeah, you can. There's always the tower because the Celestial City is kind of stacked on top of itself. You could start climbing up from there, and it's not the worst climb in the world. Why it's kind of like a metallic metal that's kind of like glossy. There's all kinds of decorations and like windows and stuff to clamber onto. So yeah, you can climb out once you get through and see what's up.
Are there any statues immediately wary?
Yeah, that was the
You-
next question.
When you look through, you just see like a street and a door on the other side. It's almost like an alley-ish.
Okay.
Okay. Before we go through, I'm going to try something.
You gonna go through now first, or just in general?
No, before we go through. I have invisibility. I'm gonna try casting it on Snow. He's going to... Snow, one moment. I'm going to attempt something, but please do not do anything stupid. Follow
So
us.
he's doing that, and Cinder's gonna be casting Pass Without a Trace. Snow is literally a ghost.
Yeah, so he's going to cast invisibility on Snow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Snow
So
becomes invisible.
Yeah, Snow looks down, can't see himself. He's like, whoa!
Be quiet. People can still hear you.
Yeah. Cinder just casts another spell. This makes us a little bit more sneaky, but don't break anything.
Never known any wizards.
Cinder just gives him a like. You're full of shit. Anyway.
While you're like doing all this,
Technically, Aberhart isn't a wizard, so...
well, he kind of
It's
is.
so fine.
The Fen is just gonna kind of like grumble when he casts all his spells. Like, can't do this, can't do that. Is it really worth going through? Surely there's gonna be more lore on your side than this side. But she's mostly just complaining to herself. You know,
He
hot
just
girl
pats her
shit.
on the shoulder. Yeah, she's gonna pat her on the shoulder. It's okay, we'll get you out of this terrible place. And then she's like, okay, you guys are way down here at the bottom of the tower. It's faster if I go up by myself. She's gonna start climbing.
So you all go through.
I guess we go through and
Yeah.
And then you're going to climb. Okay, well, this is a great place for us to take a little baby break and be back in a couple of minutes.
okay.
Okay. You've gone through the small slip space into the celestial city, the heaven of sun and moon elves. With snow invisible. You're also taking the soul of Fendlin with you, who does belong here. And Cinder, you want to climb up the walls and buildings to get a vantage point. Give me an athletics or acrobatics check.
On the field.
Also, my internet is slightly eating ass. It's not all the way there. It's like a kiss near by right now. So we'll see what happens with that. 18 is good. 18 is good. I'm not gonna do the horrible things I was gonna do if you rolled a low roll. You start climbing up buildings, and like I said, you do some hardcore parkour up the side of the buildings, on the faces of statues that don't look like they're gonna move, off of windowsills, and all of that sort of thing, up to a high point where you can look around and you can see the tall buildings, and you can see the fountain area you were at. That was quite a landmark. While it wasn't like a grand plaza, it was almost like a U-shaped courtyard with the fountain taking up the inner horseshoe space. And you can recognize it. You can also recognize it because there's the big Burning Man giant that was made near it, and you can see it still burning.
Wait, there's an effigy of a giant here?
There is an effigy, that's the word. There is an effigy of a giant that is being burnt right now.
Oh my god. Snow probably looks at this with horror.
Well, you can't see it yet. It'll be fine.
Oh, okay. Okay, only Cinder can see it, I see it.
Cinder can see it because Cinder's up above. You also see something flying above the city.
Oh god damn.
Not just Pegasi and Sunhounds, but a big shape that you can see clutch onto the side of one of the big central towers. It's a really big cat fur that's just flying around my head. And it clutches onto the side. This vaguely humanoid bird-like shape, and you can see its head moving as if it's looking around.
It doesn't see me though, does it?
It is not currently flying towards you, or even has its eyes locked on you. It's quite far away.
Right.
You could just sort of see its silhouette and shape. Yeah, Bird Sauron.
Great. Cinder's going to climb back down. Can she guess and think that that's the big thing we were warned about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe. It's
Either way,
definitely
it's
something
big and scary we should be careful about.
It was something
I know.
looking for things around, you know?
Got it. Okay, we're fucked. Alright, Cinder climbs down. She says that to herself up there, like she's gonna can she test her amulet out real quick and see if she's got a speaking connection to anyone?
Oh god,
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that. It might actually attract it.
Oh yeah, shit,
Are
you're
you
right.
sure?
I think we should just go out. Like,
Yeah, she's not
straight
gonna
out might be the easiest way.
Yeah,
Just find
no.
the quickest way out.
she was going to find a quick way out. She wasn't going to try and get a teleport out. She was going to just be like, hey, if I don't make it out, giant bird ate me.
And then you go
She's
to
not
the
gonna do
soup
it.
and you're like, what happened? Like, bird.
She climbs back down. Okay, so I found the fountain. I found the giant flaming man. I also found the giant bird thing that's looking for things, and so we're gonna do it
Then we need to move quick.
this way.
Preferably avoiding these statues.
Just keep an eye on the sky and on the sides of the buildings up high, because that's where it was. Also, Pass Without a Trace is going to be active.
You already cast it.
So, yeah. So, and Snow's invisible, and the second Snow becomes not visible, she's gonna shove him right into the box. No questions asked. He's already given consent, he cannot say no. Okay.
It's going to be stealth
Alright.
checks to travel around a city. You have a +10. And Snow also has advantage because you're invisible. Now, Fendlin is wearing heavy armor. Snow's also wearing heavy armor, so it cancels out.
So on who is the Pass Without Trace?
Everyone.
Everyone.
Okay, cool.
I'm
Cinder
not wearing
cast it
heavy
on
armor.
everyone.
I'm wearing should be medium.
If it's
Well-
medium, that's fine.
Either way,
half-plate, which is medium.
Cinder's
Fendlin is the
plus-
one who actually
Yeah.
would have got a 20 if I didn't roll with disadvantage.
Yeah, but she still gets a +10.
She has a +10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
and
that
you said,
helps.
so just normal.
And to be fair, Fen is meant to be here.
Oh, I don't do. Wait, hold on. This
32.
The stealth debuff thing isn't just heavy armor. It's types of medium armor as
Oh
well.
yeah, you're right. No, I do. I have medium armor, but it does.
I need a
have
stealth check
edge.
from Adelhard.
Yes. I need to find it on the
32.
sheet. Where is it?
I got an 11,
Down here.
So
15,
With
not bad.
15.
You did worse than Fendlin. Okay.
Cinder is a ghost. Cinder's a
Yeah.
fucking ghost. with
Cinder
that
could be
32.
leading and moving you through the streets, and you do see some of the elves around. Right, this is there are people here in the narrow streets that kind of curve and twist and rise up steps, and you're leading and you're checking back, and you can like see the presence of Snow despite him being invisible, because things do get kind of not so much knocked over. But you know, footsteps into puddles and stuff. But Pass Without Trace does usually stop that.
Yeah.
But he also rolled a fucking 1, so he's still rolling an 11. So it's not great. Although 11 isn't that much worse than 15.
yeah. Well,
Let me roll some things.
And I can't be tracked by magical means, so if the bird's looking with magical sight, he can't see us.
actually,
It
wait.
can
Technically, I was-
see through magic sight. It can't track by magical means.
Yeah, that's what I meant. That's what
Yeah.
I meant. If it's trying to track us, it
Technically-
can't.
I was supposed to roll normal, not because it canceled out. I rolled with disadvantage.
Oh, yeah, good point. Reroll.
So do I get? Oh,
Yeah,
let's
yeah,
go.
yeah.
The rule is in my
The
favor.
rule of Eric
Oh, wait,
gives
but it
and
doesn't.
takes.
Oh no,
It
it
did-
doesn't let me. It overrides it because it's supposed to cancel out. But okay, well, either way, it's bad. Just say it's bad. That's fine.
It is just bad.
Because I had advantage clicked and then it's still no. Then this yeah okay yeah.
Okay,
that's
yeah. The perception bonus is, let's just say, good enough. It doesn't happen immediately. You're traveling through these streets, you're kind of bustling past people, who do seem to notice that something's happening, but not exactly what. And then you do hear the kind of grinding sound of some of the statues in areas that are activated, twisting and looking your way. As you're getting closer and closer to the fountain, you hear a discordant sound of billows and organs, like church organs, as flying overhead and then clutching onto the side of the building with metallic
Everyone
claws.
gangsta until the church organs start playing.
Yeah, we're playing a Warhammer
Dark
40k
Souls
game
music
now.
starts.
Yeah, I start playing
no.
frickin' Children of the Omnissiah. It clutches onto the side of the buildings. The wings of this creature are church organs. They're organ pipes of brass and whatnot. And they seem to kind of click together and then open up apart.
Latin
And-
music, Latin vocals start chanting.
And it clutches nearby, and noticeably, it landing on the building does like crunch into the walls and like leave claw streaks and stuff. Unlike the statues, who are very still and standing, and it's quite high up, but it's definitely, you know, attentive to the area you're in right as you get to the fountain area. And right now
It's under the box.
is clutched above and is investigating with a vaguely kind of human bird mechanical hybrid face. The box?
Okay, Snow, you're getting in the box. She doesn't even.
Yeah. So it's like looking
The box
around
and
for the
yeet
box.
to the fountain.
Oh wait, hold on. Let me put the spell up. There. So okay, she's gonna just smack him and get in a box
Oh
and.
god. Okay, I fall into a state of suspended
Now,
animation.
here's the thing, actually, and this might change your determination. This does not move Snow. In fact, Snow is stopped where he was.
So she's going to. He's not gonna like this. She's going to shove him. Are we at the fountain?
You are at the
Close.
courtyard where the fountain is. You can see the fountain. You can see the wall where the gateway
him in the back.
is. You cannot see through the archway. This spell does not turn Snow into a tiny ball that can be put in your pocket. It turns Snow into an undetectable thing where he is.
Yeah, Snow's
Unless
just like,
I'm reading it wrong, and I don't think it says.
I think you're right. Like he's literally just
No.
stood,
Okay,
like,
I have an idea. Okay, she's
Yeah,
gonna.
it would
open-
be if you cast it, yeah.
She's gonna open her bag. She's gonna put it on the ground. Snow, put your feet inside. Actually, do we have the other bag? Adelhard has it, right?
Adelard has the bigger bag of holding that can actually
Oh no,
do
Cinder
this.
has. Cinder
Oh,
has.
Cinder has
Cinder
both
has
bags.
both?
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
Cinder's gonna
Cinder's
open the
too.
bigger one, set it on the ground, open it as wide as she can. Snow, put your feet inside.
Snow
Let's do
is
it.
like, I don't know if I want to.
Just do it.
The Archon is sliding down the
Now!
skyscraper
Do
in
not
front
have
of you.
much time.
Okay,
If you want to
Snow-
finish your business, then do it.
Snow tries to put his foot in. I
Both
don't
feet.
know if this is a normal bag of holding. I don't know if he's gonna fit, but he doesn't know that, so he's gonna try to dive in.
You can't dive in. It's the feet in. I think it's the feet
Well, like
on
pencil
the ground
dive, like
and then.
first.
But Cinder's wanting his feet in there because if he's
'Cause then she can
attached
go
in
swoop.
place,
Up, right?
That-
That's the idea.
that and sequester him at the same time. Because it's not technically a portal inside of a portal. He's just.
You are starting to do things with like metaphysics. This is like you're putting Snow into a quantum state.
Okay.
All right. No. Anyway, Snow, just get in the bag. She's not going to use the spell. Snow, just get in the bag.
His feet are in the bag now.
Fen, do you want to get in the bag too?
I don't want to get in your stinking bag.
Okay. All right. Snow, get in the bag, and she pulls the bag up, shuts it, puts it back on.
Does Snow fit in the bag? That's the question.
In this state, yes. I don't give a.
Okay.
You know, you are just sent into
That's true.
an empty
You're a ghost.
place.
You don't weigh shit.
No, Snow weighs things.
He's
Snow
a ghost.
is not a ghost. Snow is an entity in the afterlife. Snow needs to breathe. So do get me your constitution score and your
Oh,
your
God.
statistics.
He's
Okay,
got
yeah.
10 minutes.
Okay.
There should be air in there, yeah.
And
'cause
we're
unless-
like really close to the portal, so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But the
so,
portal
okay.
doesn't appear to be active. You just see stone.
Snow can hold his breath. Okay, so a creature that. Okay, I think. Okay, yeah, this is from the. You can hold your breath equal to a number of minutes equal to 1 plus your Constitution
Okay.
modifier.
You've got like 15 minutes then, basically.
Okay,
All in
he's
all.
fine.
Yeah.
Adelhard, what did she say to do when we got back? Did she say to call her with the thingies, or is there a button on the? Is there like a foot pedal, or is there like a?
She said nothing. I believe you just
Fuck
said
it,
to
we
return.
ball.
Are you gonna run?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You run up to the fountain. Fendelin with you. It's just stone on this side of the archway. You're in the fountain. The Archon does. It drops onto a balcony above where you're at. It's kind of stopped it slightly.
Adelhard is going to try and call for her or some manner. Your Majesty, we are back. Please open the gates.
Why don't you give me an intelligence check?
Oh no.
Just flat int?
For you, intelligence, yeah. If wisdom, if Cinder was doing this, it would be wisdom.
Yeah, okay.
Oh
Cinder,
no.
you
My
call
rolls are
out
bad.
and nothing happens. You see the Archon like billow ashes and brimstone out of the end of its wings, the organ-like pipes. It lets out just a horrible noise. Enough to the point that the other elves you can see who are like panicked, they actually kind of grip their heads and are staggered by it.
Okay, looking at the area around, is there anything we can activate? Any magic runes? Similar to what we saw in the archway that we entered in the Moon Queen's Palace.
The archway that you entered the Moon Queen's Palace did not have runes. It was a white metal archway, as if like a bridal archway. On this side, it's like when an archway has been filled in with brick. It's like decorative, but it doesn't go anywhere right now.
Okay.
And there
like,
is
no magic
decoration
runes or
on
anything.
the fountain, but it's not explicit. You don't see you don't see an immediate thing like that.
Okay.
Can I use find traps to see if there's a mechanism anywhere?
You would sense an area affected by a glyph. So yeah, all this spell would sense is that it is a magical doorway that has to be opened. That's all the spell would sense. You just don't know the current means of opening it.
Is there anywhere that has stones that might fit the shape of the stones on the bracelets?
There's no stones on the bracelets that you were given. It's just gold and silver.
Can Cinder try to plane shift us from here?
You can try and give me a wisdom check to, reach out with your such powers.
Yeah, just normal.
Yep.
Oh, Cinder, in your abysmal wisdom, even though you should have a high one. Yup, knew that was coming.
At this point, the Archon is going to drop down to your level. It is going to make an attack at Adelhard.
God damn it.
You can use your scheme after the attack. It's going to roll. What's your AC right now?
15?
It rolled 15, not counting modifiers. So I think it's a hit by default. Unless... Okay. Yeah, it's gonna strike you with the claws. The claws burn with hot flame. Sears into you. It's going to hit you for... that's going to be 14 fire damage.
14.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Cinder's gonna take a guess. It's probably not gonna work. Cinder's gonna take her bracelet off and smash it.
The one the Moon Queen gave you.
The stone, yeah.
There's no stone on this bracelet. Your bracelet.
I thought there was
your
a stone.
amulets have stones. The Moon Queen just gave you a metal bracelet. You take it off. You are. Do you not want to do it? What's the?
I thought there was a stone. My bad.
There was never. There's never a stone.
Cinder doesn't know what to do other than panic teleport, and that's not gonna work.
You know that this is a magical portal. It is not open. You can feel the magic of it. You used find traps to really identify that.
Okay, I mean, it's a long shot, but what did Adelhard remember from the Moon Queen casting her spell? How much did he gauge from that?
Well, that would be a intelligence check plus your spellcasting modifier to try and, you know, eidetic memory the exact motion she made. Yeah, absolutely. You can try.
Okay, so that is int plus spellcasting with proficiency?
The
full casting.
It will say on your sheet. Let me check. It does on the spellcasting bit say what your plus is. Well, that's a spell attack bonus, but that still counts. Same thing. So +8. Int +8.
Yeah. Then let's do that.
$25! You, struck by the Archon's flaming claws and attempt to recreate the motions, try and look back in your memory to see exactly what the Moon Queen did, and you recreate the motions with your own magic, hoping, maybe even praying, that
he will not.
the arcane magic will work the same way, and it does. The archway suddenly is no longer stone. You can see through into the other side, into the Moon Queen's garden, just as you could before.
Let's go through.
And you can tumble through. You're taking Fen with you?
Well, yeah.
You sure you want to go? She looks at Fen.
I have a bad feeling about this. Not Snow, but me.
Yeah, I have a bad feeling about it too, but Cinder doesn't just want to leave her there because she's super depressed.
I don't want to stay here. And she is going
Let's
to go through.
I do not know how long I can hold this.
Yeah. Well, if you take too long, you're going to get smacked again.
Cinder's chucking the bag through the hole.
The other half is just going.
The bag like opens and a Snow will be launched out of the bag. Into the other side, into the Moon Queen's gardens. You two go through with Fendlin. The portal closes behind you. You are within the gardens. And then... things will, of course, begin to happen. But right now, there is a moment of still. Because the portal goes behind you. The Archon is no longer behind you. You have a moment to think. All of you do. This goes for Snow and Fen as well. The Moon Queen is still here. There's no Ballard. He returned with how long you took. What would be your immediate reactions once going through?
Oh my god, I hate it there.
Adahad is probably actually going to, like, lean against something.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Cinder was gonna sit up and fix him. Maybe. How much damage did he take?
Not much, but he just basically the Moon Queen actually needed a spell book for, so
15, he gets all of it back.
It's more...
Yeah, she's just fixing the physical.
Yeah.
Snow, you feel the ground beneath your hands, because you are like on your front, feels more solid than it ever has before. You can smell the grasses and the blossoms in the garden. You can see the light a lot brighter. And then you start seizing as the two Snows, soul and body, are forcibly reconnected.
But yeah, my body was just like laying here in the...
And your body was actually in a completely different place.
It's in the tower.
It's in the tower. But I
In the kitchen.
I will say it will basically connect to the stronger of the two, at least in this instance, and so the body in the pantry disappears, and Snow becomes the body. You basically replace yourself and become physical. It's quite a hard thing to palpably explain, but you go from being a lost spirit to Snow in their body again, but the we already talked about it. The process is changing and differenting, and you still have one horn missing.
Okay.
Fendlin,
Yes,
on
I
the
like
other
the
hand,
thing.
is straight up having a seizure on the ground. And is noticeably kind of hazy and transparent.
Snow's gonna be vomiting probably.
Yeah. The Moon Queen is actually the one who will get up and rush over and kneel down behind her and start, weaving some magic, and does give Cinder a glare for taking someone through.
Cinder just looks at her. She didn't belong there.
Belong or not, there's nothing to tie her to this place. I need a source.
Tie her to me.
I need a physical source of strong magic to bind her here.
Cinder just throws her arms up. I'll do it until we can find somewhere to put her. Just put her here.
No, I'm not possession to keep her. Well, we could do that, but a magic stone
Or my lizard.
or
You need a stone.
something to ground her.
Cinder starts going through her bag. What do I have? What does Cinder have? Lots of things. What does Cinder actually have, though?
Here's a question. Snow is probably like hazily looking around. Does he have any recognition now?
I think that's up to you. We did talk about it a little bit.
Okay.
But it's up to you. I think it's one of those things where it's like it's kind of half from half, probably somewhere around there.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it'll probably be slow to
Yeah.
come back. So he'll probably just be looking around like just very confused of what is going on.
Like waking up from a really deep sleep. You had a dream, one of those dreams that lasts a long time, seemingly, and you're not quite, you're kind of in between both places. Meanwhile, she is stuck.
I was thinking maybe like if you wake up, like if you've ever gone through surgery when you've been knocked out. And
Oh
you
god,
wake
yeah.
up.
Worst feeling ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably like that where he's like all of a sudden jolted into consciousness, but he's like, oh god, what the fuck? Yeah.
Like, where the fuck am I?
Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah.
Cinder's going through her bag. She just pulls out a few, like, rocks from the boss's, like, she has some rocks from home that are, like, magic, but she's like, I don't have anything other than my amulets, and I don't think that's a good idea. So, I mean,
Good
these rocks
idea
are
or
me.
not, you've already made one bad idea.
Was it? Anyway, she just hands her one of the rocks and her hand. Just pick one. Just pick one.
In this episode, the gang turns Sabriel's dead wife into a wraith. The It's Always Sunny music.
Yeah.
I don't know what will happen if you use the amulet. Bad things might happen. It might be worse. Let's not do that.
She will take the rocks, and she will very briefly, like, just kind of run her hands over them and be like, these are rocks. I need magic.
What does Cinder have? Does Cinder have anything that I'm forgetting about, Ollie?
A
You
pair
have
of
the magic
amulets.
play.
She's gonna do it because the boss cares about Ballard, and Ballard cares about the boss, and the boss cares. She's gonna hand her one of the not the Jester's amulet, because that's 5 ways to sideways going wrong.
That's a way worse idea. let's resurrect someone using
you know
the
what?
God
No.
of Revelry.
No, the Lord of Lost things would work because she's lost, so she's gonna do it to the amulet right now. There you go. You got me there, Ollie. I'm stupid today, okay?
She gets what's going on. We get what's going on. Okay.
She holds it out.
She'll take the amulet and will essentially, using some arcane magic, and you've seen Adelhard cast spells, you've seen her cast spells. There's a lot going on. She's casting like 5 spells at once, and the amulet, glowing with the tealish light of the Wayfinder, will basically slide through Fendlin, kind of to nestle where the heart is, and you see that kind of teal glow inside, and then kind of flow through, like when Sabriel cast Strong Light and the sun flows through the body. You kind of see that happen, and it goes through the because she actually would have taken off the chest plate to start doing this like magical surgery. You could
Fenn's
it
a
goes
fae
through
now.
the multiple stab wounds on her chest and neck, and she goes from being kind of hazy to material all at once, and just does let out the one single sigh, but other than that is unconscious. And the Moon Queen is also visibly tired from doing that and is just gonna sit on the floor.
Cinder just looked, I'm sorry. But I gotta find the lost things. And she was lost. I couldn't leave her there.
She just gives
Aw.
a solid nod.
Cinder's
It's
also
not-
gonna have to call the boss.
Call the boss on the different phone. They're like, pass the phone.
Well, she can.
I know, it's just a funny idea.
She's gonna have to get another amulet, I guess. Unless
Yeah.
Fenn is bound to her now via the amulet, but.
No, the amulet is just her heart.
Okay. She's a fae now.
She is new.
She
She's
is-
something.
Cinder's done things. Okay, she looks at Adelhard while the other two are fucking out.
Adelhard looks physically done at the moment.
Do you want to go find? She starts to say Uncle Ballard, then she just shakes her head. Do you want to go find Dad? So we can get this done with, so we can go find your mom, because now I have this. And she motions to Finn.
I need a rest first.
Okay. She looks at the Moon Queen. I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry. It was a stupid decision, but certainly an interesting one.
Sabriel's gonna have issues, probably.
No, and she will even say, "My Lord Commander better not come to me with any issues or complaints again." And will just push herself up, and she will say, "I have some very good bottles of wine." And is just gonna move in a direction. You can follow her if you want, or you can go back to Adelhard's dad's place.
Is she inviting
Does
us?
he take the wine? I think in this situation, Adelhard will actually take the offer of the wine.
Yeah, Cinder will follow, but she like tries to pick Fen up to help her up, so she's not like laying on the
Yeah, you could pick Fen up and help her.
Here's the question. It's like, yeah, Snow will like stumble to his feet. But Snow, like, okay, so does he, so he still remembers everything that happened in the heaven world.
Yeah,
Okay.
And
now
memories start to
slowly
come
following-
back, and they're kind of, you know, you're only one VHS.
He's starting
Yeah.
to learn what Cinder was pissed off about.
You start
Yeah.
to believe.
I wonder, okay, he's probably looks at Fen and then has a realization as well.
Yep.
Oh no, he's gonna go back
Oh,
with
no.
Sabriel's wife, and Cal's just gonna kill him again.
But so
Of course. You have you didn't know who she was in the other world.
yeah. And so Soda's just gonna kind of be very quiet right now as he's just mulling things over in his mind.
Yeah,
Follow along.
the Moon Queen is going to guide you to a chamber, which is basically like a home bar. You know, when people make like a hobby bar, and she is
She
just
would
going
fucking
to she's just gonna hand Adelhard a whole dusty ass bottle of wine. Like, she understands. She gets the look. She has the same look. So she just does that and just kind of like makes a, like, the Moon Queen who you've seen, prim, proper, never out of hand, just makes a motion like, you can have whatever you want to the others. She doesn't care. She's just gonna pop the cork out of the bottle and drink from the bottle.
I love her.
Adahad will still take a glass.
She'll get a
love that
glass
you can
after a
done.
moment. She'll get a glass at the same time, but she does have the swig first.
I love that you can see the Sabriel influence on her right there. That's the Sabriel influence right there when he had to help teach her ass. That's when Sabriel got pissed off at her and he's like, fuck it, drink.
That's true, annoyingly. I didn't think about that, but you're right.
It's 100%
This is why,
that's...
you know, Ori is like number 2 lore writer, because, like, you're right. I'm mad, but you're right.
Cinder's going to take some alcohol and give it to Fen. Probably the strong, like, whiskey or, like, shit that's probably over there, not the elf shit, because she has a feeling she doesn't want that.
Some, like, dwarven fire water.
Yeah, it's just straight up dragon piss. Like, it's
What?
I've heard, like I'm just going on a tangent. Like, I've read some stories and stuff where they're like, the whiskey, they call it, like, fucking, like, dragon piss or some shit because it's that fucking strong.
We don't do that here.
I'm just making it.
She doesn't
Anyway,
even go here.
Cinder gives her some, finds whatever whiskey she can find.
Yeah.
She takes something, she just pulls something ass random on her for herself, and then she goes and uses the Jester's amulet. Like, Ben, come with me. She, like, pulls Ben over, like, you need to be part of this conversation.
Yeah, Fen is coming to. I like had enough strength to walk and does kind of drink the whiskey and just like let's have a happy sigh, you know, of being able to drink again, and looks over to like Snow as she's being dragged into a corner. Is like, doesn't he have to come too?
No. No, this is my problem right now, and we gotta deal with you first. I've done something, and we gotta sort it out.
Yeah, she'll give Snow the look that when your friend is dragging you in or out of a bar, kind of look, and you know, we'll get to that. But the Moon Queen will motion to the bar and be like, "Welcome back to the world of the living. I'm sure you're very confused. That confusion does not stop now that you're alive, I assure you. But know that your friends cared enough to go to heaven and back to bring you back."
Friend is a strong word. I would not use it so lightly.
This is the moment where Cinder, if she was still nearby, I'm your friend, and keep going.
Yeah, they say that to Snow directly. I don't know if Snow is in any state to respond or do anything. He's just still in a haze.
Yeah, I think he just kind of is processing a lot of things. He actually probably starts crying, actually, which I don't know if he's ever done before, but he just starts crying, and he's not really sure why, but he just starts crying.
Nice.
It's like a slow sob.
While he's crying,
bless
Cinder's
it.
gonna make a phone call. We've all been there on a night
Party
out.
music.
Yeah.
Party music. Party music
Yeah.
on the other end from Cinder's
And then-
phone.
and
Like,
then-
is this party better?
Snow will be like, "Could I have a drink?" as he's like, sighing.
Yeah.
He'll take a swing or something.
Yeah, she's gonna pour Cinder, Snow a glass of wine.
Yeah, he's very confused, but yeah.
Yeah, you Cinder pulls away Fendlin and calls the jester, and there will be the darling on the other side.
Emma.
No,
No.
you don't want to open that bag of snakes.
No, we have. Anyway, Cinder's not gonna go into an explanation of why that's not possible. So can you? Are you with the boss?
In a certain way, I always am.
I mean, I know.
Physically, no, I don't know where they are.
Can you call him?
I sense that there's a story to that question.
Yeah,
Let me guess! Your amulet is inside someone right now.
You have no idea how true that is. This is not like the whole thing with Asterion and the eating it. No, like when he ate it, we could get it to vomit it back up. So, this is a whole other situation, and I'd literally be ripping someone's heart out if I tried to get it back. So,
okay. Let me get him. And yeah, she'll sub it. She'll you know, collect call Varim and join into the conversation, the conference call between the Archfey conference call going on. And you can probably explain. I don't know if this is necessarily all out loud, but yeah.
No, she will explain that she needs a new one now, and she found a lost thing, and the only way to save the lost thing was to do that.
Yeah, Varim would say that he's proud. Because that's a good, that's a good thing.
Cinder was afraid of being in trouble.
Yeah. Well, it's one of those things, right? You've always been told and you've always been saying that you can't lose the amulet. But you lost it for a good reason.
Yeah, I guess.
It wouldn't have been an immediate, I'm proud of you, Cinder. It would be a long, awkward pause. Before Varim has to process dad mode. And not yell at you like an employee who just lost a very valuable item, but as a person. And yeah, I don't think there would be strife from it right away. But you're gonna have to wait a bit, They don't grow on trees.
Yeah, I know. I just wanted to let you know that I fucked up. But I needed to help her because she was lost, and now I need a new amulet. But I guess I can call the Jester. We haven't hung out in a while anyway, so it'd be good to have her on speed dial again.
Here's the question. Should we take her back to the kingdom of the Sun Elves? Or where are you lot going next?
Well, we need to go find Adelhard's mom, but I think we need to take her somewhere safe for now. And we also need to go back and show Uncle Dad, Battlelord, that Snow's alive. Uncle Dad. That Snow's alive again? So the Sun Elves?
Well, we could get Battlelord to head over to you, but he won't be able to do it today.
I don't think today's a good idea. Adelhard's really wiped out because he got us out of there, because it's a big spooky thing that lives there that is a giant robot of doom. Kind of was chasing us down, and we had to get out really fast, and I'm a little tired about
I will send a message to Battlelord.
So they're just ranting.
And he'll come to see you when he can. Okay?
Okay.
And then maybe you guys can get back on track, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then he'll hang up, and the Jester's like, this is all very interesting. I will be paying attention. And then hangs up as well.
Okay, bye! No, don't tell him to break Sabriel. Don't make me cry on stream.
Yeah, that's the thing. He probably could and would, but probably won't. I think Ballard is going to have to be the one to be like, okay, I'm going to have to know how to introduce you back to your dead wife. It's probably the right way arrangement.
Ballard's going to be the one to have to do that, because otherwise I feel like...
Bad. All bad options.
You know what I'm thinking, right? I'll explain later. Okay, she
Oh,
drags
no,
them
I
back
think I
over
get
to
it.
the rest
Yeah.
of the party.
Yeah, the others, they're all drinking. They're all drinking.
She sits down with Fed next to everyone else. She's just sitting there all quiet, like, and dipped down, like, okay.
Ben will motion with the whiskey to Cinder. You don't want to be the only warrior not drinking after a successful operation.
Oh, I'm not a warrior. I just know how to fight.
Adelhard will just say successful. If you count being alive as successful, I suppose it was.
The Rukui does just kind of make a motion, being like, that's the whole reason why you went in.
No, like, kind of snaps himself out of it, and he's like realizes, like, wait, where's Leaf? Where's Jensa? Where are they?
They are.
They probably fell through a hole.
They are in the Paper Mario companion hammer space right now. They're fine. They're just not here.
Yeah. Okay.
Leaf
so-
is in the tower. He is recovering.
So
Cinder
he was-
still feels a little sick from the whole, like, being in the spirit world thing, too. So she's like, I don't want alcohol right now. I don't feel good.
Solution to that is more alcohol.
Is it? She's just like, fine, and like, hand
It
me something.
is.
I don't care what.
You're claiming to be the child of a sun elf. You should.
Oh, I'm not. She takes the amulet off. Or the bracelet.
Fen does. There's a- Okay.
She pauses. She holds up a finger to Fen. Hold on, real quick. Can I keep this? She looks at the Moon Queen like, this will be useful if I have to disguise myself later.
But of course,
Okay, thanks.
why not?
Okay, Adelhard will use this opportunity to ask, Your Majesty, would you mind explaining how these work?
Well, magical items can project illusions along the wearer. This merely taps into your soul and projects a spiritual sense of your soul in as many senses as I could put into such a small device. It's quite simple spellcraft, it's just 4 or so spells at once.
I see.
No, it was like, looks when Fen was like surprised. So I was like, "Oh, Fen, I apologize, but yeah, I'm starting to remember things now. This is what Cinder actually looks like."
Yeah. Balor's my adopted dad. He's not my birth dad. He got eaten by a dog.
God damn it.
I just wish. Snow like has a look of sadness. He's like, I just wish I could have brought the squirrel Jimmy with us.
Well, I'm not wasting an amulet on your squirrel.
Oh, I know. I suppose maybe he's better off up there. I don't know
He's
if
a squirrel.
I don't know if a squirrel would really survive the journey here.
She looks at she just looks at him like, why the fuck would I waste an amulet on a squirrel? Like, she looks at Fen. Yeah, I'm Ballard and the boss found me when I was really small and scared, and they took care of me. So
Okay, wait, so hold on. How long have I been gone? How long has he been gone?
you?
About a few weeks, too, I think.
Yeah. You? Let's see. You were still alive when Uncle Ballard found me.
Okay.
So you were around. I don't remember much of you, but you were around. How long is it? How long does she know Ballard was sad for after that? 'Cause I know Ballard.
I think she's been gone
400 years? I
for
think is what it was.
something like that.
Yeah,
3
Cinder's
or
just gonna-
400 years.
Yeah, it's like, because Tabrel's still a little bit iffy about it. on the sad part. So there's somewhere in the area of 300-400 years. Time is irrelevant. I'm a fucking.
Time's
fag.
irrelevant. I've been dead for 300, 400 years.
No, I mean to me. I don't count the days. So that's a guess. I'm sorry. I don't have a more proper number.
We can ask Ballard when he arrives.
He won't know.
Yeah, he will.
So Snow looks at Fennis like, yes, I actually. Never mind.
Oh, are you gonna? Because Cinder knows about this story, right? Cinder
she,
knows.
Yeah.
She gives
Cinder's-
you a weird look.
Cinder's gonna be like, "Oh, you're worried about Calvervale, aren't you,
No,
Snow?
it's fine. I
You're worried
recognize
about
you.
Calvervale."
No
Ben,
one
I
needs to
think I
worry
must have
about Calravale. He's
I must have
a
recognized
weed.
Oh no, he's
you.
big, strong man now. She's like trying with her little tiny weedy arms, like to pretend to like puff her chest out, like.
Okay, something really happened to the world then to all of for that to be the case.
Yeah, no, I think he threatened Snow.
It's a long story. We really shouldn't talk about it here.
She's gonna have to know, because if she goes back and you're there and then suddenly you're pinned to the wall by a very large buff sun elf man, she's gonna want to know why he's trying.
I know why that usually happens.
It's just, I do not know the story either. Do please enlighten us.
No, it's
No.
really fine. I think we can wait. Let Sabriel handle the explanation.
Can we have the Moon Queen time in, maybe?
She doesn't know.
She also...
She doesn't know. She doesn't know.
She's just gonna look at Fen. Do you really want to know right now why he might try to kill him? Because I feel like it's in everyone's best interest for this to be known ahead of time. That way no one's surprised by surprise knives.
Snow is beat red right now.
I have no idea what's going on. I'm being talked to by a fucking rabbit.
I have a people upper half.
You have a rabbit
I got
lower half.
He's,
Goma's my girlfriend.
I don't know who that is.
yes, Goma. Isn't Goma young? Like Goma.
Yeah, Gomo
No.
is post Fen.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
She's only a
If she
few
was
years
around when Fen was, she would have been Unbabu.
like a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. It still sounds like a sun elf name. She's like, what? Okay, so this is important, Snow. I'm sorry if you're embarrassed, but at least you remember it now. That way, also you remember why all of us stuff I yelled at you about.
Snow
Gives him a
grabs
look.
Snow just grabs like a tankard if there's one nearby and puts it up so that he's like pretending he's drinking just so his face is covered.
So Snow, first poetry. This is fine, right?
Yeah.
Snow got caught. So I hear from some of the others that he was up in Sabriel's study, and there's a really nice painting of apparently you up there. And Snow got caught, just kept staring at it, and staring at it, and doing some more staring at it. And then Calvervale saw him doing his staring at it, and then I think he threatened to kill him because it was gonna make Mr. Sabriel sad.
Oh, he's always the protective one. You didn't know about that when you were in the other place, right? You didn't know
Snow
that?
still has the tankard to his face. Like,
She stands
Oh,
up.
did you too?
She stands up. She stands
Snow's about
up.
to get his ass kicked.
Some light glows in her hands, and the rope of light, similar to the one you've seen Sabriel use to disarm people, appears in her hand like a lasso, like tightens it.
oh no.
You didn't.
Snow like lowers the tankard. He's like, no, I didn't remember anything.
I love having Buff Wife back. This was the best decision.
She takes a breath, dissipates the light. Which painting was it?
Oh, I don't know. Was it a naked one, Snow?
It was, wasn't it?
Was it
Okay.
a naked one, Snow?
I actually don't remember if
It was the naked one.
was.
It was like
Cinder
naked,
doesn't
but
know.
still wielding like her weapons as well.
Yeah.
Cinder doesn't know.
So-
Cinder just knows the story, and there was
Yeah.
a painting involved.
Yeah.
So just looks at his feet and he's like, "It wasn't for that reason, if that's what you're thinking."
Hey, Miss Moon Queen, can I have something stronger than this wine?
I found. So like stutters. He's like, I found the like your warrior abilities showed through.
My warrior abilities, huh? My big perky warrior abilities.
Oh god. So is again just like completely beat red.
Cinder's like, oh, Miss Fen, you should meet now that you've got the Fae inside of you. She starts patting, like tapping her own chest. you gotta meet the Jester, the one we just called. You're gonna love her.
I don't know half of what you're saying. Half the words you say, they're gobbledygook. It's like trying to speak to a human.
Oh man, you right.
Yeah, so Stone's like, he just isn't speaking right now unless.
The first giant I meet as a warrior destined to destroy giants. As she turns around and he stared at my fucking tits. And she marches out of the room.
I love her so much. Hey, at least she's not depressed anymore.
So like just looks up shamedly.
She's really fucking pissed now.
So probably looks up ashamed. And he looks over at Cinder and Adelhard. He's like, I really meant it. I mean, she looked like a fine warrior, you know?
Yeah, but listen, Snow, I'm not from this place, and I don't understand people words very well, and I know that. I admit that I misspeak quite a lot because I don't know the colloquial that. But when you say things to a person with tits about their admiring their like prowess in anything, the first thing that's gonna get thought of is their tits. And granted, mine aren't very big, but my brain will go straight to my tits. Like
Snow doesn't know what to say.
I think we broke Xylemos.
I think this is gonna break a lot of people. This is the breaking point.
I am so dead.
So,
We
you
should
can
go
have a
get
long
Valor.
rest here or back at the tower. That's up to you.
Snow would want to go back to the tower and like let Leaf know that he's okay now.
Yeah.
Adelhard is going home.
Yeah. Which luckily is parked where the tower. Where
The
the tower
tower's
is
at.
parked. The tower is parked at Adelhard's house. Adelhard's house
Yeah.
isn't parked on the tower. We get into a Russian nesting doll situation now, which should be.
Yeah.
Okay. Where's Cinder going?
Oh god, where did Fen go? Because she feels like she might need to
She just
keep an eye on her
went.
for right now.
She just wandered off.
Cinder will try to go find her so she at least knows where she's at for when Ballard shows up.
Sure. Yeah.
And then
she hasn't gone far.
Cinder can just Cinder will just go sit with her for a while and just girls time, I guess, until
Girls time.
Girls time.
Okay.
We're breaking the chat and I love it.
Okay. After a well-needed long rest, Ballard will plane shift back to the tower. Looking quite determined, and actually a lot healthier than when you last saw him. He looked really tired, right? Because he just had to save Cinder. And Cinder, at this point, you probably took Ben to be like outside the tower, right? Like, there's a courtyard at Adelhard's dad's place.
Fancy courtyard.
Fancy courtyard.
Take
Fancy
her
courtyard
outside
with like
away
very few plants. It's mostly paved
Yeah.
over with nice mosaics.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Cinder would take
yeah.
her outside so that she's not the first thing Ballard sees.
Yeah, but Ballard looks good. He looks fully recovered from being drained, like Adelhard and Moon Queen just were, right? Like his internal reserves are full again, and he looks around and would he would check the pantry where Snow's body was, and that's just where like Snow's gear is, I suppose. There's a weird residue left. There's a burn mark where a body was, something like that. And then would try to find Snow in the tower.
Yeah, I mean, Snow's there. He's probably not,
He would give Snow a firm clasp on the shoulder and would say, "I'm glad you made it."
Thank you, Lord. It was an interesting experience being dead.
Well, I hope to never encounter it myself.
Yeah, well, I did have a friend there, though.
Yes. I don't want to overshadow your returning to the land of the living because it's very important, very dear to me, Snow. You're one of my favorite people in the world. But I have two individuals that I'm going to need to very carefully break some news to.
Yeah.
I'm going to need to look into that as well. That is going to be a whole thing.
Yeah, I understand. It's also a little awkward because I kind of became friends with her.
That's great!
Up there.
Fedlin is a marvelous woman. So.
I agree, but you didn't hear the story, did you, Ballard?
Oh, I heard the story. But I do have a question before I go. Why weren't you so interested in the pictures of me in my prime? There are pictures of me in that study. I know there are, and I was younger.
I admire you, Ballard. I don't know if I necessarily admire you in the same way, if you know what I mean. But the art of you is also quite fine. I agree. I think they really captured your Ballardness.
Right. Okay. Well, best of luck, Snow. Try not to fall off another mountain.
Yeah, I'm only just starting to remember that. It was quite painful. I don't know if I would do that again.
Well, if you do, try to stick the landing. And he pats him on the shoulder really hard. He's actually going to do 14 points of radiant damage to Snow as he slaps him on the back. It doesn't seem to notice he does it.
That's yeah.
And will step outside, and he
it's like, ow.
He steps into the door frame, and he takes a breath, and he does kind of. He turns around a bit, and Snow would see this maybe Adelhard if Adelhard's inside. Actually, Adelhard's probably with his dad and completely ignoring all of this. But he will kind of do this, like the. Okay.
Bless it!
Make sure he's presentable and walk down out of the tower and see Cinder and Fen and smiles quite widely. And it's very early in the morning, but the sun seems to brighten almost through the clouds. Hello, Fen. Fen smiles. It's she's confused a little bit. She looks at him. You got old. Well, I couldn't be a young stud forever. Although, I wouldn't have minded. Someone had to grow up and look after Sabriel and Calorvale and this little one. And he'll ruffle Cinder's hair in like an annoying-ish way. It's like affectionate but also annoying.
Cinder holds up a finger. You want to see something cool?
Both of them just look at her with like interest because they're birds of a feather.
She like smacks the bracelet or does whatever she's told to do to activate it.
You just have to put it on.
She just puts it on. Little female Balor.
You now look like a proper Sun Elven Crusader. Oh, we'll have to get you proper armor, and you could fight in our armies. I mean, you'll fight alongside when your boss allows, and you should meet her boss. He's a wonderful man, and maybe me and him are a little bit more than friends. But there's so much to tell you, Fen. So much you've missed. So much I've missed of you. And that's when they're gonna start crying, pretty much both at the same time. There's gonna be a hug, and the armors clank together.
Cinder gets pulled in and squished.
Cinder is in the hug as well. If anyone else was within, the black hole radius, they would have been hugged. It's just the way it is. It's one of those hugs.
The gecko is just like, eh.
And they cry a little. And eventually, Battlelord does look to Cinder and say, "Thank you. This means a
Can I just
lot."
leave her there?
Of course you couldn't. I taught you better than that.
She just grins. She's like, yeah, she was also lost.
Oh, and news about your, I don't know, are you girlfriend? I don't know where you are.
I mean, yeah, I don't... Yeah, Cinder's like I'm confused as to the question.
At first we couldn't heal her. Our light wasn't strong enough. But yesterday, Calorvale could summon the light. A grand amount, and managed to fix her hand completely. She's completely well again.
Cinder just boing, like, yes!
And the bracelet like comes off because she did the jump. It's like you turn back into a rabbit.
Okay, good. That means she'll be less upset, and
I
still feel bad. I still feel really, 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 really bad because it's my fault. But now she can do things, and so she'll be happy again.
Well, I'll let her know, and I'll take this one back to High Thundral. You shouldn't take another detour.
Mm-mm.
But
she's got the boss's amulet in there, so just be careful with that. He's got to give me a new one, but points at Fen's chest. She doesn't touch it because the whole snow situation just happened, so she's like not touching the tatas.
yeah, Balord kind of like puts his hand on her chest plate, and that's when he notices the like stab wounds, and he does kind of let out a slight disapproving hum, but nods. We'll work it out when we work it out. Too much worrying about what happens next, and you end up like Sabriel.
Cinder wants to be like, what, will this stick so long up his ass that it reaches the clouds? Like...
Alright. And Adelard in there, I thank you too. I'm sure you're in that small house somewhere. It's like the biggest house in the city. When you're next in High Thundral, we'll all share one hell of a drink. And for now, he gives a nod, and we'll take Fen's hand firmly, and with a flash of light and a wave of air that kind of knocks things over, he and she will disappear, leaving some light particles in the air.
Cinder will just walk inside of the house to find Adelhard.
Yeah. It's already been addressed that, like, Cinder's been to Adelhard's house before, like, between the seasons, so that's totally
Oh,
fine.
she just sneaks in there and interrupts his work and forces him to associate.
She would probably find him like in one of his studies or the library of the house, probably looking at a bracelet, probably writing something down.
She comes in. Okay.
Cinder, how do you keep getting into the house?
It's kind of my job to get into places where no one else is supposed to be.
Right. I forget.
Mm-hmm. So she like walks over and puts down her like a notebook where she wrote down all of the stuff that she got from Mr. Pyrex, the glass man, like Wyrex. My brain was like Pyrex, like the glass people.
You did get there, I suppose. I mean, to be fair, it worked. You got there in the end.
I just imagine in a book that there's in the notebook there's also Pyrex,
Yeah.
and then the
Crossed
P is
out.
scratched out.
That's absolutely
Cinder's
the way
like-
it is.
Cinder's it's a backwards P because she's common, and so here's all the information I got on your mom. She was last there. She like points at the city on his map on his desk because he's got one there. She knows it, so she's just pointing at the city.
Pointing at the city of Northenden.
Okay, then we will head to Northenden.
Mm-hmm. Oh, or I just realized something. Never mind. It's too late. Y'all know how we were looking for the Firestone last season?
Yeah.
Poetry? You know where it probably is? On that godforsaken ship that's moored to the side of a mountain.
Well, yeah, it probably was. I don't know if it is still.
Oh, well, he's dead, so someone's taking it.
Well, do we know that Wyrex is dead?
You have no clue.
We
We didn't see a
We
body.
don't. Yeah, there's no body. He's alive. It's like Mace Windu.
It is Mace
so-
Windu rules.
He's probably gonna want revenge on Snow for the.
That's fine.
Pain, though.
Yeah, Cinder just nods. We need to go there now. I've taken care of things with Ballard and otherwise, and so we can go there now. That's where we need to go anyway. Because that's what we were supposed to be doing. Fighting your Bob.
Alright, let us go.
We should go get Snow out of the tower. Or we should go get into the tower.
Yes.
That one. And
Yeah.
she's staying away from his dog, by the way.
Yeah, I
She's
imagine
like far
Adelhard's
away
dog
from
doesn't
his
like
dog.
Cinder.
Cinder doesn't like it. Cinder does not like dogs.
Yeah. Snow would, if they come back and discuss the plans,
Yes.
Snow probably would have the realization and ask them if they ever found Wyrex's body.
I don't know. I wasn't there. I got sent to somewhere else.
No, we did not see the body. We had to go.
I understand. Well, if I died, there's
Which
no
is what
way
we
he
should
could
have
have.
done.
If I died rolling down that hill, there's no way he lived, right?
Yes, sorcerer.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
And he had
Wizard
people.
of some description.
And not everyone in that ship came after you guys. There was a lot of people in there. Granted, I gave them my cyanide pie, so somebody had to have eaten it.
Well, assuming if he is alive, it's a problem for another day.
Mhm.
For now, we can deal with Well, we can try to find your mother, Adelhard.
What
What is
are we
the plan when we find her?
Are we like
First,
interrogating
we
her?
established if she is guilty of any crimes. If she is, I will have her brought back here and prosecuted. If not, well, she can be left alone, and I have no desire to speak with her.
Sounds good to me.
You know, it'd be interesting. So it kind of like looks like he's lost in thought. He's like, I wonder what I would say if I could ever meet my real parents. And then he kind of just is lost in thought.
Do you necessarily... Cinder's like, I've thought about that sometimes. You know, one of them's dog, and then the other one... that one was...
You're here in the distance, Adelhard's dog barking.
Yeah. Cinder's just like the John Cena song starts playing as the dog starts barking. So Cinder's just like, I never met my parents. I just know what happened. And so, you know, I've got Ballard and the boss and the jester. And maybe it. I don't think it's worth wondering over what could have been.
I suppose you're right. The Planivar, they raised me as one of their own, and he nods. He's like, it's just interesting. If I had the chance to say something to my birth parents, I'm not sure what I would say. I don't think I envy you, Adelhard. If we do find your mom, well, it's probably going to be awkward one way or another.
Well,
But
I think
I do not have any connection to her.
either way, you brought me back from the land of the dead, and I owe you, obviously, for that. So I'll help you guys. Even before that, you helped me with many things. It's time for me to help you guys. And he looks at Cinder, actually, and he's like, and he kind of looks down at his feet. He's like, I apologize for being reckless. In the future, I will try to think before I run into the fray.
Cinder just crosses her arms, squints her eyes at him a bit. Okay. But I don't see. Here's so running in and without thinking sometimes is good.
It is never
But-
good.
No. Sometimes it works. But when I just want to be listened to a little bit more. That's all. Because I'm just trying to keep you guys alive. I'm the old one here. I may not act like it because I hide all of the sadness with this, but like I just try to keep you guys alive.
Snow nods.
She just
He's
kind of like holds her arms like this, like.
Snow nods, and he's like, in the future, if I'm gonna do something crazy, I'll ask if I should first, or try.
Or just listen when I say to run away.
He nods.
She's like stops holding her shoulders like this, and I walks over,
He,
looks up at him with a pout.
yeah, he looks genuine, and he's like, he actually says he's like, well, regardless of how awkward it might be now with Fen and myself,
Oh, you're going to die.
when I was
The
up
Sun
there,
Elf will likely have your head by the sounds of it.
well, regardless of that, when we were up there, we became good friends, and I think it definitely changed my perspective on some things, and now looking back, I realized that maybe I was a bit too willing to throw my own life away just for a momentary moment of wanting vengeance.
Cinder nods.
I'll try to remember what Fen taught me up there about being smart, listening to your friends, your allies, and working with them.
Cinder nods, and then she gives him a hug. It's begrudging at first, but then she's like, okay.
Yeah.
I can't stay
Aluhard
mad.
also gives a nod, accepting the apology.
Cinder, it's like trying to be mad at Sophie. Like, you look at her and she's got such a derpy, stupid face, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh no.
and so actually, while you're hugging, someone also say, he's like, the other thing is when I was up there, besides Fen, I never really had any other friends in the time I was there. And so I've realized now that I'm glad you convinced me to come back when I was up there, because the only real friends I have are here with you all and with the plan of my people.
Aww.
Oh.
It's the only place I think I actually belong.
Well, you're back. I apologize for punching you while you were in the freezer.
He's like, wait, what?
Aluhard is like, oh yeah, that happened.
He's like, okay.
Listen, I was very mad because I got sent to the spirit world, and I'm still not feeling good from that. By the way,
Aluhard just gives a quick summary. We froze your body to preserve it.
So it's like, Goldie didn't do anything to me, did they?
why would Goldie? Then there's just like, what the fuck are you on about?
What would the construct do to you?
Goldie wouldn't do anything.
I don't
Goldie's
know.
like, Goldie doesn't go in the fridge. Why would Goldie go in the fridge? What's he gonna eat? Snow? The fucking lug nuts in the fucking fridge. And therefore, she's like, I need a snack. And he like pulls out a box of bolts and just starts fucking chewing on them.
Oh god. Yeah. Anyways.
Oh, you're
I
muted.
think you're muted.
To Northenden then?
Yeah,
Yes.
I guess we start going.
You can take off.
Picturing Goldie going into the fucking fridge and pulling out a box of bolts.
You really like that one, huh?
It's very funny. I need to draw that.
That's going in the book, Ollie. That's going on the Google Doc.
I
That's
actually
going-
do need some art of constructs, and I was thinking to finally paint Goldie.
I'll put it on the Google Doc.
Here's where you get to look at your maps. Do you want to stop anywhere on the way? And bear in mind, Northenden is a country named after the city. The city this is common knowledge to Adelhard, because Adelhard cares about these things. The others, wibbly wobbly, timey wimey. One of you is a rabbit, the other one is the forest hermit. Adelhard would know Northenden is the name of a city that slowly became a country as it grew more influence and took in several towns and around it. So saying she's in Northenden is not just one city, it's a fairly small country. With the border being the Fallowwood, which on some maps is the Forest of Frigid Mists. And the lower border being Dyland is the first town on the Goldport side of the border. Northenden borders Goldport.
We should probably avoid that section.
So you have a whole country to look through, but it is a small country without a huge population. That's what Northenden is known for. It's a very free city, and it has a lot of good stuff going on. But it's small with low resources.
Didn't he say she was near the city though?
I don't remember specifically. And I don't think he specifically knew either. It was more, that's like the last I knew
Mm-hmm.
kind of thing.
So
I guess best bet is start in the capital.
Yeah, that's Cinder's idea.
Oh, Ollie, wasn't Northenden the big city that had a really big river going towards it?
There is a big river in the middle of Northenden, yes.
Okay.
The river is notable in Northenden because it is one river that comes down from the mountain and then splits in a fork, with one river that goes east towards the coast, and one river that goes kind of southwest and goes down past Lichvale. The reason why this is super noticeable is because it's actually the flag of Northenden is the river, because the river splits in the middle of the city, nearly, with the palace actually being where the split is. For Adelhard, trade ships actually go up the river.
Mm-hmm.
They go up the river, they stop at Shortbridge, and then there is either big ships, they go to a little lake where they can stop and unload things, or they go to the city proper if it's a small enough ship. So the Ravenlords would have ships specifically to trade to Northenden because they're that pedantic. That can traverse the river. But yeah, you would know quite well about how that is, and while there is there's no the settlements on the coast for Northenden are small. They're not really trading settlements, at least legal ones. Shortbridge is the first port of call for ships, and that is a gnomish small city, honestly, in Northenden country.
Okay, yeah, then let's just start with the capital.
Okay, do you want to stop anywhere on the way? Just in general, considering you're flying, you don't need to do anything like that, but I need to ask as a DM.
Cinder doesn't have anywhere she needs to stop unless, she gets a call saying, hey, you need to pick your amulet up.
Yeah, no, Adelhard wouldn't want to stop anywhere either.
Okay.
But we do need to find a good place around the city to hide the tower again.
Yes.
Is it that so the city, if I'm looking at the map right, Ollie, there's the city backs up to mountains, right?
Yeah.
So when we get close, can Cinder try and scout out visually a place, or she can do her wild shape and turn into the little noodle and flit over there.
I mean, we could do both a visual scan and a closer one if you want to look for a place outside the city to in the mountains. Is what you're thinking?
Yeah, it's probably best to hide it in the mountains and then just make our way down there on foot.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
In which case, give me a perception check, because the flying, completely easy, casual, easy breezy. You have a handful of weeks, probably. Honestly, I mean, tower travel, probably 2 weeks. It's not long. Perception with advantage, I'd say, because you've got benefit of time and you're high up. Well,
Adelhard gonna have a look at as well, if that's okay.
Sure.
If it wants to. There we go. No.
Well, if snow rolls, you might get a 14.
Yeah,
Woo,
I was gonna
14.
say.
Come on, let's go.
It actually makes sense for Snow to do this, because I was thinking, he's still not very much of a strategist, but he does know, the lay of the land and stuff, and he's got decent...
less strategy, more pointing out a place where you can be.
Let's see.
16 is better. None of you rolled high enough to get the secret lore answer. You only get the basic normal answer of yes. You eventually find a nice place to nestle the ship on the side of the mountain, which is Mount Garth. There are routes going up and down the mountain. There appears to be almost pilgrimage routes. Imagine, the Skyrim throat of the world kind of route. So you have to avoid that. And put the ship, the tower somewhere around there when you land. I mean, ultimately, it's a big gold thing. You're never gonna fully hide it, but you can kind of put it in a place where, okay, maybe the only people are gonna see it are probably in the forests down below, which is probably fine.
I mean, if Cinder had full access to that spell, she could just fucking hide it herself.
Yeah, but apparently that angers the cars in the big city. That's someone beeping at you for trying to park. Yeah, you can land.
We stole someone's parking space.
Yeah, exactly. There's a
No,
Moon
that was
Elven
just the
fire
noise
tower
of us
trying to
hitting-
park there.
That was just the noise of us hitting the alarm button on the car, making sure it was locked.
Yeah, you can get out on the mountainside. It is the middle of autumn, so it's quite cold up here. But you have come from the northern lands, so it's not as cold as that. This is one of those places where, like, the southerners are like,
Adelhard
man,
is
it's
like,
cold.
comfortable summer temperature.
Yeah, the people who live in the heartlands are like, oh man, Northernton's so cold, and then beyond it is like ice and snow and horrible land. Like, you guys are gonna be fine. But currently you are up on the sort of mountainside. It won't be any sort of checks to approach the city of Northenden. If you're doing it by foot, you honestly can, and because this is kind of like a pilgrimage route, there is footpaths that enter the city. The city of Northenden on this side, the north side, is a very big wall. And the wall kind of curves around. Adelhard, you'd be like, aha, that is designed in some weird way to protect against landslides from the mountain. Because it does back up right against the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't go up the mountain. And then you can see inside, there is a gate, but because you're coming from above, you can see the city of Northenden stretching out above you, beyond you. Stone buildings, predominantly of a kind of human-esque style, but not the humans of the north, right? You've been spending your whole time with Northmen this whole campaign. That Northenden, despite North in the name, is a city of Yarvan, predominantly, who are the humans of this region. Much more what you'd imagine of a little fantasy city buildings, but there's some dwarven influence as well that you can see stretching around, and it's very busy, in a kind of good way. Like, you're approaching and you can hear the hustle and bustle, and there's someone who passes you with like a duster and a hat, and they tip their hat as they're going up the mountain. You're in a much bigger, more lived-in place. Are you all in your regular forms?
That's what I was about
Yeah.
to ask, because Cinder's the one that's going to stick out. So, Cinder's going to look to the two mortal people and be like, do you think it's probably a better idea if I walk in there looking like an elf? Because this motions to all of her is obvious.
You have been in my home city looking like you normally do.
I know, but these people are different. These are humans.
Yeah. Where Adelhard is from, it's also mostly humans.
Yeah,
So-
Adelhard is from a human culture.
Yeah.
Probably
Probably a much more orderly and stuck up one than these guys.
More stuck up, orderly. Well, you see guards at the gate. There is a
Okay.
gateway here.
No,
but-
I mean Adelhards are more orderly than
Yeah.
these.
I know.
Yeah, I guess Cinder will hold off on pretending to be an elf right now unless she thinks that we're gonna have issues otherwise.
Yeah.
If we go further south towards the bad place, then yeah, Cinder probably will be an elf because I feel like Rabbit Lady will 100% be attempted murder. So, yeah, she'll just stay as she is for now.
got to the gate here, and it is a smaller gate than you'd see on other sides of the city. With the same, it doesn't have the same kind of layout, but there's kind of like a small door that's open, like a double door almost. And there are some guards there. Their armor is either bronze or painted with bronze, and is kind of a traditional guard armor. They have a spear and a shield, and they give a nod, and the one of the men asks, "Did you have a nice time up the mountain?"
Oh, yes, it's the views from above are quite nice.
We spent a nice, good
A
time
nice
coming
summer
around the
temperature.
mountain.
You be careful. It's going to get really cold up there soon.
Oh, we're from the north. We can handle it.
Right. No
Still
checking.
probably can, but
Yeah, no checking of the passports or anything, because it's kind of assumed if you come from this direction, you have come from the city. So you're just allowed in. Into the streets of Northenden. The streets here are busy. There's some slight markers and stuff, and you notice if you have a look at the street signs, it would be, you know, Dwarven District South, Elven District East. There are districts of different cultures. Yeah, you are now in the city of Northenden. How do you want to what do you want to do? How do you want to go about it?
real quick. So as far as like size of the city, just in general, like it's busy. Is it bigger than like Thundral? The city of Thundral, is it bigger?
It's
than,
a
like...
similar size to Thundral. I mean, elven cities are smaller in population but bigger.
Yeah.
This probably has a higher population than Thundral.
Okay.
But is a similar size to the lower elven city side.
But basically, like, what I'm wondering is, like, could I find like amenities here?
Oh yeah. Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Okay, nice.
I mean, if given enough time, especially, this is a very open city. I mean, there are some shops on this road, but there's also some terraced houses.
Okay.
There's directions to like stables and things like that.
Okay.
Actually, you would be passing a stable, and you know there would be some mountain horses, but there'd also be like a dragonkind riding drake that someone is quite tentatively feeding. It's like, oh,
Then there's like, oh, baby!
Snow has ideas, but he would look at the rest, at the others, and be like, "How do we begin looking?"
Well, this place has a university. Mages.
You
places,
don't know of a
something like
mages university. You do
Okay.
know of
Normal university?
there are places of study. Absolutely,
Okay.
there's libraries and all of that sort of thing. It's a place where you can get a higher education, for sure. There's probably multiple universities. If you want to like look around and investigate the different universities, that's something.
Yeah, because I was thinking Adelhard might try looking into either teachers or students that have been recorded studying at these universities recently.
Sure. That would probably involve getting into a library and kind of asking for that information.
Yeah.
So you can follow the roads towards the library. Ori is brewing something. What are you brewing?
Yeah, sorry, what's your idea? And what's Poetry's idea? Let's hear yours.
She was working with the guy, right? The guy that Snow killed, maybe.
Potentially.
That pulled a window. And that guy was looking for those stones that you guys got rid of before I came along. Right? Snow?
Wait, which guy? Sorry.
Right.
Yeah, that one.
So Wyrex was working with the dude in Valheim, Valheim, yeah. I've been playing the game
that was
Valheim,
looking
so
for
I've been-
when you guys, that big story you told me when you started, when we got together, when you all fought the thing and the stones and the gates and all that good shit.
Was that related? I
Didn't you say he was going after? This might be Ori misremembering what Ori's been told by other characters.
there was like the elemental monks that were involved, and some of them were hobgoblins.
The
I don't
Agahast
think-
and Wyrex have no connection to the elemental monk.
Okay. Yeah, I
Okay,
didn't
Ori
think
was
so.
misremembering that there was a connection there. That's my bad. Ignore what I
What
was just saying.
Wyrex
then.
was doing, based on what he told you, was studying sorcery.
Yeah. The only connection was that there was the one elemental monk we found with a group of goblins that was a part of the warband, but they weren't like anymore. They had no connection.
Yeah, that's a very
So-
tentative link there.
That might be what I'm remembering then.
Yeah.
So
Hashtag
Cinder's like,
everything's
okay.
connected.
Well, she was looking in. So remind me what she was looking into. She was looking into potential sorcerers for
You
their
don't
group,
know
right?
shit about what Dahlia was doing.
No, what did he tell Cinder? That's what I'm trying to remember.
What you were told was that she was bought by him to
Mhm.
experiment on, but she also started doing experiments as well.
Okay, that works with what I'm trying to do.
Yeah. So she started
Cinder
out as
wants
just a
to-
test subject, but she also then became a tester.
Okay. Based on his reaction to Cinder offering a place where he can go get young people for sorcerers, right? Cinder's going to look for an orphanage or somewhere where children may have gone missing without
wow.
being noticed.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
So let's see. So Adelhard is going to like the libraries and study route, right?
Yeah, he's going to the libraries, any place that holds records. He's doing his thing.
Cinder's
Cinder's
going
looking
to the
for missing children, yeah.
orphanages. And Snow, I guess we'll like each be kind of investigating stuff while we're in the city. Then
Sure.
Snow will go the route of going
Taverns?
to taverns. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's gonna try to get in with some of like the low lives of the area, like the.
You want to go for the
thieves,
real
so-
low life tavern then?
Yeah, he wants to go to the
Oh.
seedy taverns and
Okay. Because
And
you would hear quite quickly, just in general, like traveling around as travelers, and you're like, oh, where can I go? There is a tavern famous for being a place where adventurers get together, called the Terrific Toad Tavern. It doesn't have to be related to your plan. It wouldn't be where the low lives are, but it is
Yeah,
like
that's
the,
what I was-
the
I
rest of
think
the
that'll
world
bring-
doesn't classify adventurers as a profession. Northenden kind of does, and the Terrific Toad Tavern is like famous for travelers and adventurers spending time there.
if anything, we should probably avoid that if we want to lay low. I think Snow. I don't know what the others are gonna do, but Snow will start like he'll find like the scummiest, seediest tavern he can find in town, and like rent a room out and start staying there while we're in town.
Okay.
Well, we need to have an operations of base first. So Cinder will. We need to have a place to meet back up. I'm gonna go check orphanages and places where maybe people wouldn't notice some missing kids because I'm Fae and I know where to look for that. Don't ask why.
Alhard just like the tiniest hint of concern in his eyes.
I don't steal children. I
So
just
it's like,
know where
yeah,
to
that
find
checks
them so
out.
they can be taken back. Okay.
Then
Because
the,
they should take
the
a
title card comes up. The gang steals a child.
Well, no, Cinder, like that's 100%
The gang uses a child as bait.
I know.
Wayfinder stuff. Wayfinder has returned lost children, so she knows. She knows where to look. So, yeah. So we need to find somewhere to meet up with. That way, if something happens, or by a certain time, we need to meet up, because it'll take too long to get back to the tower.
I think
In the
we
middle
can
of the
meet up in the Adventurers Tavern, but I'm not gonna stay there. But like, we could have that
The
be our
place
meeting
is
place.
it's
too
fairly
busy for any
central.
amount of.
What about that place with the guy that was trying to wrangle the not dragon?
The stables. Meet in front of the stables is what you're saying.
Yeah, that.
I don't know. That'd be a little more conspicuous. I feel like it just.
That's definitely a place where drug deals go down. You're like, yeah, meet me by the stables. Do a handshake.
Sounds like.
It really does.
It's all the coked up university students go there.
It's funny because there is cokium being sold in this city.
Or is there a bakery that we can meet at for lunch?
yeah,
Like a
bakery.
bakery.
But
We can just go have
I
a
like that
croissant.
idea.
you can decide on a bakery on a certain
Yeah.
road that you can visit that because
Yeah,
this
let's
is
find
a
like
very
a nice, comfy
Oh,
bakery.
can it have
Yeah.
a cool name? What's the bakery's name?
Something tits.
I don't actually have a specific
The
name
Twisted
bakery
Tits.
here. It's not the Twisted Tits. That is not the name.
Because they sell like a croissant that's like twisted in a
it
way that looks
does
Angel's
sound
buns. The
like
angel's
a-
buns.
I will allow the Lush Buns Bakery.
Okay, our meeting place, the Lush Buns Bakery. I like it.
And on the little chalk thing outside, it says we'd have a drawing to advertise, but the guards would take it down.
Well, now Cinder's gonna have to make one that they can't get rid of.
That's so good. Okay, so yeah, a bakery will be our meeting place.
Okay,
And then
you can do your separate plans to try and get some leads.
We should probably decide who's going. I guess I can go by myself to the orphanages. If you want to take Leaf with you, Snow, and maybe
yeah.
Jensa can go with you since she's a smart person, Adelhard.
that seems like a good plan.
That actually does seem
Yeah.
quite sensible. Okay, well, next week, that can be the way the affairs are Autobots rolled out.
That'll be my birthday.
Oh, nice.
Ah! We can
So, the Snow is alive.
Yeah.
Dead buff wife is alive. And yeah, very productive session all in all. That's it for today. We're going to go around a circle and you can talk a little bit about what else you've got going on, starting with poetry.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I've been busy the past couple weeks with some stuff, but I should be good for the next couple months now. So that's good. But tonight I actually have but in general, I've been kind of off and on with my Sunday game of D&D that I've been streaming. We've just had some stuff come up with other people like moving and stuff. So that's been kind of iffy, but I've been streaming a lot of just video games. In fact, tonight I will be doing with a bunch of people in my Discord. We've been playing a lot of Valheim on a server I opened up for my Discord, and we are fighting like the second boss tonight. Like basically getting a raid going almost, and then yeah, so that should be fun. Big event, and yeah.
Nice. Be there or be square.
Yeah.
AJ.
Not too much going on for me. I have been doing art, actually a good bit of it, experimenting with different sketch styles, really. So if you want to see that, and a lot of Warhammer stuff, come to.
And a
to
lot of
my Twitter.
Adelhards. A lot of
A lot of
Adelhards and Adelhard
and
dads.
Ezraels.
Yeah. And Ori.
Hello, it's me, your boy.
It's a me.
Hi, I'm Ori. I do the arts full time. That's my job. I just posted a nice smexy art of one of the Archface on my Twitters yesterday. So let me just grab my Twitters. But yeah, this is my job to do art. So maybe you can commission me, and I have a discount going for my birthday for dragonborn lizard folk type characters because I'm bad at drawing them and I want to get better at drawing them. So if you have them, hit me up. It ends after March. I'll post my link in a second. I stream sometimes.
Anything else?
No.
Okay, good. What doesn't end at the end of March is the good times. The good times keep rolling here. That's what I was trying to say. there will be more of this show coming. Telling more of our stories and more of the lore of Jarviskjir most weeks when we can. Do follow on Twitter and Discord for more information. Right now, I am pretty much also working full-time on art, so if you actually want your commissions, go ahead and get them. But I'm also working the other full-time on a full, complete homebrew system primarily for Jarviskjir. There is actually a mailing list that you can sign up for if you want more information about it, or Patreon. It's the best place to go. Playtesting is beginning and going well, and it's going to be a process, and a lot of it's going to be on this stream because I am going to be trying to make that as good as possible, as close as possible to a full release quality book, with the resources I have and skills to pay the bills. So that's really exciting, and it's really good, and I hope folk will enjoy it when it comes out. But that means everything else is kind of on the back burner for now. So do follow in all the places. And this show is supported by Patreon. More about that system is going to be on Patreon. That's where early playtesting stuff might be dropped at a certain point, and teasers of what we got going on. But that's it for now. We will see you next time. With the main plot of the season. Whoop-de-doo! We got there. 9 sessions in.
Finally.
Yeah.
All right.
It's
we'll.
It's like an anime.
It is like an anime. I mean, it's fun.
Naruto filler arc.
Yeah, really though.
That's what it's all about. And that's,
Yeah.
it's also kind of fun to be in Northenden because a lot of people say Northenden is their favorite place, especially people who've played in the other campaigns or watched the other campaigns. So it's a bit of fun having you guys there who've never been. So that should be nice. We will see you next time. I'm going to go to sleep. Ori's going to go get drunk. I don't know about the rest of them. We'll see you then.
Birthday shenanigans.
Yeah.